In this video, I'm going to show you how to use 2A sentences. So 2A sentences are things that which we use in year 3 and 4, and it's where you have two adjectives next to each other, separated by a comma, and that comes before a noun. Now, the reason we're teaching you 2A sentences is because this then leads on to an expanded noun phrase, and the expanded noun phrase is the year 5 grammar feature that we're looking for. But first of all, we're going to get the first steps in place, a bit like building blocks for a wall, and then we can move on in another lesson. So 2A sentences, as mentioned, you have an adjective, which I'm going to put in green, and then we have a comma. You always have a comma between two adjectives next to each other. You have another adjective, again in green. This will become clear why in a moment. And then we have our noun. Now, some of you who are eagle-eyed might have noticed that these are the colours that match our word wardrobe at school. So just for consistency, we're going to continue using these, and you will see that across different lessons in English. So adjective, adjective, noun. So I'm going to give you a sentence, and then we're going to improve it by adding two adjectives before our noun. So we're kind of going to dissect this sentence, pull it apart in order to improve it. So the first sentence we're going to have is: the pig called Wilbur ate his food greedily. So capital T to start off. The pig called Wilbur. Wilbur needs a capital W because it is a pronoun. It is his name. Ate his food greedily. Now you might notice greedily is an adverb, and we looked at adverbs last week. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we are going to label this sentence. So we have a pronoun, or we also have nouns as well. Let's start with pronouns. So we've got Wilbur. Okay, and then we'll work on to nouns. So nouns are things, objects. Okay, so we'll just label a noun: items, places, objects. Okay, and then we have our adjectives, and these are our describing words. So they add more detail, and this is what we use to build a picture in the reader's eyes. So the pig called Wilbur. So Wilbur is our pronoun, it is our name. So here, which word is our noun? Okay, there's two nouns. The first one is pig. A pig is a thing, it's an animal. And also we have food. Okay, food is an object, really. Next, we're going to look at our other words. Okay, so we have a verb. A verb is a doing word. A verb is something we do. So we eat. So he ate, that's past tense, his food. And then greedily, as we noticed, is an adverb, and that's describing how he ate his food. Okay, so this is really, it's kind of a moderate medium sentence. We have got an adverb, we have got a verb, okay, but we can add more detail, and we're going to add more description to describe Wilbur. Okay, we're going to add more description to the pig. So we know his name's Wilbur, but we're going to describe it. So we'll start off with the start of our sentence again. So now pig is our noun. We know we need to have adjective, adjective, noun. So before we write that noun, pig, we are going to write two adjectives. Okay, so these adjectives can be anything. We're going to describe the pig. So sometimes, or quite often, we'll use the word fat to describe a pig. They are rather large animals. And then as we notice, two adjectives next to each other have to be divided, or separated, by a comma. So the fat, now he's eating his food, so the bets are he's probably hungry, especially if he's eating his food greedily. So the fat, hungry, and now we can go on to continue our sentence. Pig, I'm going to use that in red just to show we've got the two adjectives and the noun. And then we'll continue. Called Wilbur, called capital W for Wilbur. And then we continue, ate his food greedily. Okay. Okay, so we haven't removed anything from the sentence. The sentence has just been improved, and we've actually added our 2 adjectives. We didn't add the noun was already there. So here we have pig, if I point that out, and here we have pig. So all we've done is we've added 2 adjectives separated by a comma before that noun. So we'll go ahead and we'll have another go. So we'll have another sentence. So we shall say, the girl called Fern, capital F for Fern, is a pronoun, fed the pig. Okay, so we can actually take this to a higher level, and we can use 2 instances of 2A sentences here. We have 2 nouns and a pronoun here. So the first noun, we can get rid of that, is the girl. Girl is a person, it's a thing. Fern is a pronoun, so that's her name, hence why it has a capital F. And pig, same noun as the previous sentence, they are nouns. Now we're going to look for, we haven't got an adverb in the sentence, we haven't described how the pig is eating his food, but we can use the verb fed. Now fed is past tense, to feed. She's feeding the pig, it's something you do. So what we're going to do is we are going to add 2 adjectives before one of these nouns. Now, if I were to add 2 adjectives before the pig noun, okay, we could describe the pig, obviously Wilbur, as fat, hungry, just like we did before. And we can also do it before the word girl. So we'll start off, take our normal colour because we're just continuing. So now we need 2 adjectives for the girl. You can come up with your own if you do it alongside me, and I will give some as well. So we'll say small. She's quite young as well, isn't she? So we can use that to describe her age. So separate these 2 with a comma. The small, young, and I'm going to put my noun in red just to show really clearly how it matches our rule. The small, young girl. And now we continue. Called Fern. Capital F for Fern. Fed the... Now we can use those 2 same adjectives as before. Fat, hungry pig. So fat. Separate it with a comma. Go back to our green. Now the reason I use the colours is to show you the different word categories. And then red for pig. Pig is our noun. Now we could add an adverb here, okay, just to implement our learning from last week, to describe how she is feeding the pig. Okay, now she wouldn't feed the pig greedily, so we wouldn't take that from the previous sentence, because that's referring to how Wilbur's eating his food. Fern is feeding the pig, so we have to think differently. So we could say she's feeding him quickly, carefully, slowly. Okay, so I'm going to go for carefully. And then we always finish our sentences with a full stop. We need to remember you do that. And now if we compare our first sentence to our last one, the girl called Fern fed the pig. That's a very, very basic sentence. And we've changed it to the small young girl called Fern fed the fat, hungry pig carefully. Okay, so that is a much higher level sentence. And we've used our 2A sentences, and we've also used